Hey guys, welcome back to BTB Tech. I appreciate you stopping by, checking us out again. You see by the title, we're talking about today the Honor Magic V5. Obviously, I know I'm a little late on this. Now that there's a V6 out, what can I say? Money don't flow around like wine around here, so I have to kind of get what I get when I can. So yeah, today we're going to talk about the Honor Magic V5. This is not the V6, even though they are pretty much close to look the same. I actually really enjoy this phone. I will throw it out there straight off the gate. I am not a huge foldable fan. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because I don't really open it all the time. So I feel like it's being a waste. I think it's really the thing that I have with foldables. They're great. I do love them. I think they're interesting. I think they're helpful. I think just for me personally on a normal day-to-day basis, I hardly ever open it. But with that being said, it's definitely something to be had because when I do want a bigger screen, it's there. So trying to use this more on a daily basis, it's just a little bit harder for me than I think most other people. No big deal. Not saying they're bad in any stretch of the imagination. They're phenomenal phones. I've used a bunch of different phones that are foldable, from the Pixels to the Samsungs to the Vivos, other Honors. Personally, my favorite so far has been Honor. Vivos are great. Samsungs are Samsungs. I am not a Pixel fan either, so I don't really care about the Pixels, I'm going to be honest. So real quick, we're going to run down the specs of the V5.
The Honor Magic V5 is IP58 and IP59 dust protected and water resistant. When it's open, it's a 7.95 inch LTPO AMOLED 1 billion color 120 Hz 5000 nit peak brightness display, resolution of 2172 by 2352 pixels, and that's a 403 ppi density. On the cover display, it's a 6.43 inch LTPO OLED 1 billion 120 Hz 5000 nits peak brightness display. The resolution is 1060 by 2376, 404 ppi. The OS is Android 15, upgradable to Android 16 with Magic OS 10 on top, up to 7 major Android upgrades. The chipset is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite, and the GPU is Adreno 830. For the cameras, it's a triple setup, 50 megapixel wide angle, 64 megapixel periscope telephoto, and a 50 megapixel ultra wide. Your front 2 cover display cameras are 20 megapixels. Your battery for the international model is 5820 milliamps, and for your China model, it's 6100 milliamps. Charging is 66 watt wired, 50 watt wireless, and 5 watt reverse wired. It comes in 4 different colors: black, ivory white, dawn gold, and reddish brown. Now, let's take a look at some pictures and videos.
So with those specs, the V5 is a phenomenal phone. I absolutely love this phone. I love the way Honor just works. I've not personally had the opportunity to use an Oppo, so I can't say it's better than that, but I do like them better than Vivo, Google, Samsung. So my own personal opinion on that. So, don't don't take that as you shouldn't buy them. Samsungs are great phones. Googles are great phones. Vivos are great phones. I'm sure the Oppos are great phones. Again, I've never used them. I have used OnePlus, and I love the OnePlus Open. So really and truly, buy what you want. It's extremely thin. Okay? It's extremely thin. Screen works great. The inside cameras are great. The outside camera is great. The screen is great. It's bright. If I'm outside in the sun, which it is, it's very sunny out right now, and I was outside a while ago doing some B-roll, and I could see it just fine. No issues whatsoever. Charging is fast. The battery is good. I had to drive 5.5 hours one way, 5.5 hours back. And one of my favorite features of the Honor phones is the motion sickness feature that it has. So you could turn it on when you're in the car. If you get motion sickness, like myself, this helps. It's not the greatest. It's not, foolproof or anything like that. It just helps out a little bit. But what I did realize is that it just absolutely started draining the battery like crazy. I was surprised about that. Don't get me wrong. I still had plenty of battery when I got home. So I got up at 6 a.m. I got back home at 8 p.m. So that's how long I was gone. I literally drove all day except for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I was out looking at a job or whatever. But other than that, I was in a car the rest of the time. And I got home with about 32%. I got home with about 32%. Still lasted all day, but I did notice that running that motion sickness all day did start draining it. So, just something to think about. Probably ain't a big deal for most people, but it was just something I noticed, and I figured I'd bring it up. So, I do love the IR blaster on here. That works great. The wireless charging works great. 99% of this phone is perfect. It works on T-Mobile with no problems whatsoever, other than here's one of the biggest things I don't like. I won't say I won't like, but I've had an issue with, and that's notifications. Now, I don't mean text messages. I don't mean phone calls. App notifications. I do a lot of eBay. I do a lot of WhatsApp. I'm definitely in the Average Dad WhatsApp group, which is a fun group to be in. I just don't get notifications all the time like I should. Emails, they come through, but I'll notice it'll go hours before I ever get a notification for any of those. Or I have to actually go to the app, and then they'll start coming through with no problem. So I have noticed that. Maybe there's a fix for that. I don't really know if there is or not. That I had an issue with. I've noticed that a lot, though, between foldables and slab phones. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because, like, for example, I'm using a OnePlus 15 as my daily driver. That's more of a global, really a real global phone. I have no problems with that one whatsoever. This one, I know it is global. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like there's some things missing that maybe causes that. And I've noticed that in some of the other phones that I've had. But again, is that a deal breaker? No. I still get them. As long as I get text messages and phone calls, I don't really care about the rest of the notifications. You know what I mean? So just thinking about that and putting that together. Real world scenario. Man, the speakers are great. I just don't really have much else to really say about this phone negatively. I would highly recommend this phone. I rate this phone here probably 8.5 out of 10 for sure. For sure. The V6 might even be better. I would love to try the Oppo N6, man. I really would. I think I've heard a lot of great things about it. Average Dad's talked about it a lot. I've saw some other tech reviewers that have just praised the phone. Some of them that's dogged it, but we ain't gonna talk about them. We know what they're about, you know what I mean? So again, great phone. I can't say enough good things about it. To sum it up, it's a great phone, great cameras, great battery, great displays. I highly recommend it, man. Definitely get out there, check it out. You can get this phone in a lot of different places. If you got questions about this phone, man, you want to just talk about it, man, hit me up in the comments. Let's talk about it. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.